General Katrina Steiner's return within the Commonwealth was soon overshadowed by the disastrous deep raids done by the FWLM, hitting Bolin, Pollux, Coventry, and several others, as Captain General Janus Marek took advantage of the severe flaws in Operation Concentrated Weakness and nearly destroyed the military industries on those worlds. The news of these military catastrophes finally convinced Katrina Steiner to announce openly her intention to become the next Archon. Back in her post within the Strategy and Tactics Division of the LCAF, she reached out the few generals still loyal to the now disgraced Archon Alessandro and somehow managed to extract from them the promise that they will remain neutral in the coming political struggle. With Heimdall's assistance, she traveled in secret to Tarkad and made a surprise appearance at her uncle's birthday celebration, declaring publicly that he was unfit to rule. Before Archon Alessandro could deal with his uppity niece and her treasonous declaration, he was soon summoned to appear before the Estates General. In a lengthy debate that quickly became more like a shouting match, the representative unanimously voted in favor of a petition of no confidence towards Archon Alessandro Steiner. Still raging as he was leaving the government building, Archon Alessandro met on its marble steps a delegation of the LCAF High Command composed of generals, noble-born members of the military, and all supporters of Katrina Steiner. Having witnessed the Archon's meeting with the Estates General, this delegation attempted to reason with him, saying he no longer had the support of the public and neither the High Command itself. For the good of the Commonwealth, they even suggested to him to step down. For almost an entire year, Alessandro tried to bring up support to his reign, only to find out he simply no longer had any. On July 22nd, 3007, Archon Alessandro Steiner officially retired from the Archonship in favor of his niece Katrina Steiner as the new Archon. Immediately as she assumed the Archonship, Katrina Steiner revoked her uncle's policy concerning Operation Concentrated Weakness, returning the LCAF into a defensive posture. She also worked hard to ease the interior unrest by diverting food and military supplies to those planets hit the hardest by shortages. Her main concern was to provide a brief respite to the Commonwealth from the heavy fighting of the last decade. In 3009, Katrina married her longtime lover, Arthur Leuven, Duke of Donegal, with the stipulation in their nuptial contract that ensured the continuing rulership of the Steiner blood and name. The following year, she carried and gave birth to their first and only child, Melissa Arthur Steiner. Unfortunately, because of the radiation exposure during their escapade in the periphery, Arthur died of cancer in the same year. The loss of her husband hit her very hard, and she never gave any inclination to remarrying or taking a permanent lover for the remainder of her life. Only Duke Bradford, now known as the Casanova of the Commonwealth, seems to be the only person who can automatically evoke the Archon to smile, and their banter in the royal court are famous subjects of gossip that goes from risque to downright obscene. Despite her own grief, Katrina opened a new age for the Commonwealth and managed her strategic military goals by employing the few mobile units created by Alessandro Steiner, such as the Winfield Brigade, into a series of raids against enemy supply points and hiring mercenary units like the Miller's Marauders and Henson's Rough Riders in 3016 to be on the front lines and fight pitched battles for their employer. All the while, the LCAF units were either resting or participating in large-scale trainings at an almost leisurely pace. This consolidation period was finally put to the test in 3019 when the 13th Battle of Esperus II occurred. This time, the Free Worlds League, barely recovering from its own civil war, sent the famed Wolves Dragoons mercenary unit to attack the industrial world. Luckily for Katrina, Wolf's plan of attack has been leaked to the LCAF High Command, and the Lions were fully prepared to greet them. Nevertheless, despite being outnumbered more than 2-1 and fighting across unfamiliar terrain, the Dragoons made an excellent fight for it, ending up very close to the Mex factories before being pushed off-planet. So impressed was Katrina Steiner with their skills, so unusual among mercenary units, that she offered to the Wolves Dragoon a contract in the following months, which they accepted a year later.